The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Clark's Pump and Shop, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, La Rosa's Pizza, Mingy Beef Jerky, Prep Spin, P-Rats, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
Hello, I'm Gary Ball. Welcome to the 20th year of the Scholastic Ball Report. We got another great show for you this week. As always, we'll have a feature from WKYT. The Roberts Insurance Team of the Week, Franklin County Girls Basketball Team. They're outstanding. Crown Trophy Special Guest of the Week, Mike Meighan of Prep Spin. He's a football analyst. From Nicholasville, we have the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week with some great sports action. From UK Sports Medicine Healthcare, Casey Riley of Owen County. We know what you want. You want the best highlights in the state of Kentucky. It's called Game Time. We got it with Brian Mallon, Lee K. Howard.
We will begin in Georgetown with a tournament in honor of the state's winningest basketball coach. Billy Hicks won 1,013 games in his Hall of Fame career. With greatest success at Scott County tonight, the Cardinals hosting Douglas. Broncos up in the second. Micah Glenn gets one to go in the lane. They're down 10. Scott County bringing the energy, though. Noah Galliard drains a three-pointer. It's 30-23 Douglas. Down on the other end. Mello Boone.
Mello.
Finger roll. He had 23 points tonight. Douglas hangs on to pick up a 77-62 win.
And now we go just down the road. Back in June, Great Crossing went to the finals of the Titans Summer Shootout at Collins, losing to Trinity in double overtime. That Sweet 16-time tournament made the Warhawks the 11th region favorite this season, facing undefeated Covington Holy Cross. Warhawks playing Denny Crum basketball. Vince Dawson on the lob. Dawson with 23. Let's work it on the other side. Malachi Marino. Watch him set the screen. Jeremiah Godfrey flies in for two. We educate on this show. We show you how to break it down. Malachi Marino is the school's all-time leading rebounder already, and he should hold on to that mark for a long time to come. 21 points, 15 rebounds. The Warhawks win 75-60.
Neighbor helping neighbor. At Whitaker Bank, we believe in giving back to our communities. Through our many sponsorships, we help provide our fellow Kentuckians with family-friendly fun and events, and scholarships to help students reach their dreams. We're invested in Kentucky, and more importantly, in you. Whitaker Bank understands our communities and its people, because we're from here. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath, thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingy moment.
Good things come to those who wait. Unless you use distinctive design remodeling to upgrade your home. Go from fine to fantastic faster than you may think. With this many finished projects, what are you waiting for? Get your addition finished faster with distinctive design remodeling.
Make this holiday season spectacular at the Lexington Marriott Griffin Gate. Whether you're staying in the holiday-themed North Pole Suite, enjoying brunch at the Mansion with Santa, or cozying up in a winter wonderland igloo under the lights, the Lexington Marriott Griffin Gates Hotel Spectacular is sure to put you and your family in the holiday spirit. To learn more, call the Holiday Hotline at 859-490-0007 or visit griffingateevents.com.
'Tis the season to be bright and merry, so show us what you got. Send us your pictures of your house all lit up, and we may put it on display during WKYT News at 11. So get ready for Chris's Christmas Lights, sponsored by Kentucky Utilities.
Celebrations continue as the 2022 Douglas Broncos made history at Kroger Field on Saturday night.
15-0, undefeated season, win the state championship, that's rare. And just to be able to say that I did it with these guys, man, it just means the world to me.
The championship is special not just for the school, but the Lexington community as a whole. The last time a Lexington public school won a state football championship was over 40 years ago.
Yesterday, I got 2 phone calls from players that were on the 1981 Henry Clay football team. So that was really cool that they took the time out to call me and congratulate us and said thank you for bringing a championship back to Lexington.
Head coach Nathan McPeak says he's been busy since the win.
College recruiting is now back open, so busy with that. You know, we're blessed with some good players, obviously. And then, you know, you're dealing with trying to look at championship rings, championship gear. You know, it is a busy time, but at the same time, you know, it's a blessing to be able to do this.
McPeak added that the Broncos will get back to working out after the holidays. Now they have a state title to defend. In Lexington, Lindsey Goff, WKYT.
Hello, welcome back to the Scholastic Ball Report as we honor the Roberts Insurance Team of the Week, the girls basketball team from Franklin County High School. With us is Joey Thacker, 2 of his players. Welcome into the show, Coach.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate you having us.
Talk to us about your season so far and the makeup of your team.
Well, we've played 1 game so far. We played Monday night, beat Louisville Eastern. We've got a lot of kids back off last year's Elite 8 team. We got 5 really good seniors that's been around a while. And, you know, we feel like we've got quality depth at all positions. We've worked really hard in the preseason. And, you know, I think our upside is really, really good with the bunch that we have. We've just got to pay attention to the details, as they say.
Introduce your players and tell us a little bit about them.
Okay. Well, we have Javen Mead. She's a 6'4" senior. She started 3 years for me. She has really come into her own here lately and really improved in the last 6 months on her shooting and is a good team leader. And then Jasmine Chambers Jasmine's played for me for varsity wise almost 5 years, you know, so she's our defensive stopper. She plays the top of our defenses and tries to wreak havoc on the other team's point guard.
I'll start with Javen Mead, if you don't mind, Coach. And Javen, let's talk to you. How many years have you been playing basketball?
I've played for about 12 or 13 years since I was 4 or 5.
What positions do you play on the team, and what do you like to play?
I've always played the center, and I enjoy the center.
What part of your game has improved the most?
I think most I've improved with being able to slow down and take my time scoring around the basket instead of being in such a hurry.
What are your goals that you set for yourself and your team this year?
This year, as a team, I think we just need to set goals to pay attention to detail and get as far as we can. And then for myself, I think just be a good leader and an all-around good player for my team.
Well, good luck this year, Javen. Jasmine Chambers is with us now. And Jasmine, what part of your game helps your team the most, you think?
Defense, because I get a lot of deflection and steals, which turns into offensive points.
Franklin County has a winning reputation. How does that motivate you as a player?
Just wanting to keep that legacy going with winning and getting back to state.
What do you see as the strongest part of the team at Franklin County High School?
I would say our defense, because that gets a lot of offensive points for us.
What teams are your biggest rivals?
I would say Anderson County and then Southwestern, because that's who we lost to in the Elite 8.
Well, Coach Thacker, you had the one win already this week. You beat Louisville Eastern. Congratulations for that, and thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate you having us, as always.
That's Coach Thacker, Javen, and Jasmine. They were on the show today. That's it for the Roberts Insurance Team of the Week. We'll be right back with more on the Scholastic Ball Report.
No matter who you cheer for or what the sport,
Clark's Puppet Shop is there to support the young people who play.
Whether it's a snack on the way to the game or restocking on the way home, Clark's is the winning stop. And whether you're choosing from drinks, chips, or a one-of-a-kind crispy, crunchy chicken, you'll be a winner no matter what the scoreboard says.
Clark's Puppet Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Okay, with so many places to buy new appliances, where should you go? A big box store? How about a warehouse club? I don't think so. Go where your neighbors go. P-Rats was voted Central Kentucky's favorite place to buy appliances. Here's why. They have all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price, low interest financing with options to fit any budget, plus an award-winning in-house service and installation team. Voted Central Kentucky's favorite place for appliances. We're the best in the bluegrass.
Nobody beats P-Rats.
Hi, this is Kevin with Kentucky Cash Home Buyers, and we buy houses. We're the call to make to sell your house as is for a fair cash offer. We buy homes all over the area in any price range. Inherited houses, foreclosures, bad renter houses, vacant, or even nicer homes you just can't keep up with. Don't make any repairs or even clean up. And best of all, no closing cost. We're helping people all over the area sell their house as is. Call today for a fast, fair cash offer. Call 859-810-SOLD. That's 859-810-SOLD.
Hey everybody, it's meteorologist Jim Caldwell from Everyday Kentucky. Do you want to win $500?
Well, good, because we're giving away $500 a day for 5 days. I'm Tommy Covey from Covey's Automotive Service. Tune in to Everyday Kentucky and get your word of the day and win your cash.
My gut feeling is this is the tip of the iceberg.
You want to know what we care about? We care about the truth.
SVU, weekdays at 11 on the CW Lexington.
Hello, welcome back to the Scholastic Ball Report as we honor the Crown Trophy special guest of the week, and he's a very special guest, Mike Meighan, current Preston football color analyst. Welcome in, Mike.
Well, thank you, Gary. It's a pleasure to talk to you again for about the third time today.
Yeah. Tell us about your early days playing football up in Pennsylvania.
I grew up in a little town about 20 miles east of Pittsburgh, another one of those little foundry steel mill towns along the river. And I didn't start playing football till my 9th grade year. My father was a coach, not at the high school, but at the a junior high there close. And he suggested that I forget trying to be a quarterback, instead be a fullback or play in the backfield. So that's where I ended up, playing fullback for a Kiski area high school, which was a pretty big school right there, pretty close to where I lived. And you know what? Had some success. Claim to fame, I think my yards per game, my yards per carry was 8.2 yards per carry.
Well, I know you had a pretty good career because you went in the Hall of Fame. As a former head coach of Paul Dunbar, what did you like about coaching football at Dunbar?
Oh, the challenge. A lot of people ask me that. I didn't like the games as much as I liked the practices. I just like to teach. And I think that's the big thing. It was just a lot of fun to watch kids progress. I like to work with quarterbacks. And so, you get to work with them and progressions and the things that are important to a quarterback, like mostly their footwork and their eye control and so on.
As a high school football analyst, what is your observation on the general state of high school football here in Kentucky?
Well, you have to go back 50 years to pretty much when I started with that stuff. I think 1971 was my first year coaching, but I was in college back in the 60s here at UK. And I watched high school football. I remember the very first Kentucky high school football game I watched. I was in college in a dorm at UK, and several of us players went over to old Henry Clay Heber Field. Was that what it was? Old Henry Clay High School there, and watched the game. And I was not impressed because I was one of these Pennsylvania guys. I said, oh boy, we play better football. But I tell you what I've seen is the running backs, the receivers, the quarterbacks here are as good or better than Pennsylvania football. But they have those big linemen who grew up in coal miner families and steel mill families, and the genetics made them tough. But as far as right now, I think Lexington football is doing really well, and I think they're stepping up. I think Frederick Douglass has been the challenge to meet. They all have to try to catch up to them. And I think they're intimidated by him a little bit, and they shouldn't be, because everybody puts their pants on the same way, as they say. And I think people are going to catch up. They're going to step out ahead too. So who knows what's going to happen? But I like the state of football right now.
What do you like about being part of the broadcast team with Press Pin every Friday night?
I like chewing on the Mingy beef jerky, sitting in the trailer. No, Gary, I like being with you mostly. We had a good time when we did radio up in the press box, and like you always said, and like I always said, it's just like two dudes, two best buddies just talking to each other. I think you're amazing at what you do. I've told you that before. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I still cannot figure out how you memorize everything like that. All those kids' names. By the end of the first quarter, you're calling both their first and their last name, and I'm throwing sheets of paper everywhere trying to find the right sheet of paper to get their names at all. So I like that, and of course, like working with William too with the company.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Coach Meighan, for being on the Scholastic Ball Report today.
Well, I appreciate being there, and say hello to your executive producer for me.
I sure will. That's it for the Crown Trophy special guest of the week. We'll be right back with more on the Scholastic Ball Report.
It is time for the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. We go to Paris. It's the Greyhounds of the Bourbon County Colonels. 5.6 seconds left. Paris leads by 2. Then the inbounds, and here comes Kane Flynn with the winner. Bourbon County takes it 62-61 over their rivals. The Doctor of Sports, Ivan Rice, supplying the video. Congratulations, Kane Flynn. You are the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Better hearing starts when you make the call. I did with Audibel of Central Kentucky.
You can too. Call Audibel today for a free hearing exam at one of our 7 area locations.
City leader.
Mayor. Your total winnings are now over $21,000.
With their stakes higher than ever.
I'm gonna need some sangria immediately.
Every word matters. And the Beast.
If I had $1,000 for every time that happened, I wouldn't have to host the show anymore.
Like never before.
List.
25 words or less.
Weekdays at 12:30 on the CW Lexington.
With Audibel of Central Kentucky, I can understand what I have been missing.
You can too. Call Audibel today for a free hearing exam at one of our 7 area locations.
Welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report for the UK Sports Medicine and Healthcare segment. Today we have Casey Riley, athletic trainer from UK Sports Medicine and Owen County High School, to talk to us about the importance of sleep. Welcome in, Casey.
Thanks for having me.
So, how much sleep is a youth sports athlete supposed to get each night?
It's a good question. No, we don't get enough. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends for 13 to 18-year-olds to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day within 24 hours. So that can also include any kind of little cat naps or anything like that. But 8 to 10 hours for a 24-hour period is the recommendation for getting sleep.
So, what are some of the effects of not getting enough sleep?
Ooh, not enough sleep. Obviously, not enough energy. But for athletics, it can also affect reaction time. It can increase anxiety. It also has an effect on your recovery time. So we put, athletes put their bodies through so much. Their bodies have to recover from that. They're also trying to grow and develop, and there's so much stuff going on. And sleep is so vital for all that to kind of put everything together so that they recover. And not getting enough sleep really pulls that recovery time and can help. And it increases the chance they could be injured. They may take longer to recover from injuries. It just is so important because there's just so many things that can go bad basically from not getting enough sleep.
So list some tips, for student athletes for getting enough sleep. What are some tricks that they can put together?
Sometimes it's really hard because, basketball season, we started basketball season already, games are going, life is crazy. So if you have an away game, you may not get home until 10 or 11 o'clock. And then you might have homework to do. And then we start school at 7:45 at Owen County High School. So most of these kids, I have some kids that live 30 or 45 minutes away from school, even though they live in the county. So they have to get up early to get to school on time. So create some kind of routine and try to stick to it as best they can. Again, in season, that's going to look a little weird because you're going to have the ups and downs of game times and getting home late. But trying to get in some kind of routine, especially if it's on a practice day, be like, okay, I'm going to go to bed by 11 o'clock on a practice day. Trying to get some kind of routine. Try to limit caffeine in the later afternoon and early evening because caffeine can disrupt sleep. And then put away devices. We love our cell phones and our iPads and our computers. And, you get scrolling on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever, and that can also disrupt sleep.
Should an athlete use a sleep aid or sleep aids?
Sleep aids are a little bit up and down. One of the most common ones you hear about a lot of times now is melatonin. Melatonin is a natural, it's a natural process in your body that helps you fall asleep. And because of disruptions from screen times and that kind of stuff, we don't get enough of melatonin. Our body doesn't know how to use it. So some people actually need melatonin to sleep, but it's kind of a gray area because if you use sleep aids, then your body starts getting dependent on using a sleep aid to fall asleep. And we don't want that. You want to be able to fall asleep naturally. So the occasional, hey, it's getting late and I can't sleep. It's not going to hurt anything to get a sleep aid, especially if we're trying to make sure we get all that sleep. But trying to make a way to sleep naturally without a sleep aid, especially in younger people, is a lot better than using some kind of sleep aid. It's not necessarily a hard no. It's just more of a be cautious when you use them. And that goes for everybody, athletes, adults, everybody. Be cautious when you use them because really sleep is important for everybody. But we want to make sure that it's natural sleep. Because your body needs to know how to fall asleep by itself. So it's not a bad thing, but not something that needs to be used all the time.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Casey, for that important information on the importance of sleep.
Thank you for having me.
That's Casey Riley from UK Sports Medicine and Owen County High School, always keeping us healthy for all high school contests. We'll be right back with more on the Scholastic Ball Report.
Their Paris in Bourbon County, and Sean Ransom is having a hard time keeping those alligators down. Woo! He is the nature boy of the 10th region. Down 5 at the break, the Hounds go hunting. Look at the step back from Jakari Ransom. Ivan Rice would have written about it, but my man is running for office. Yeah, you are, and then there's that. Okay. All right. One long jumper deserves another. Bourbon goes down smooth, and Todd Dumford needs no chaser on the 3. That youngster politely asked, and we aim to please. The Colonels, well, here's how it ended. Colonels were down 2. Kane Flynn, courtesy of the Doctor of Sports, Ivan Rice. That is your game winner, and they stormed the court 62-61 the final.
Staying with the ladies, Henry Clay and Douglas going at it. Teamwork makes the dream work over there. Reagan Gregoins to Kate Baker for a quick bucket as Douglas leads by 16. Down on the other end, Emily Johnson gets one to go for the Blue Devils. They're cutting into that lead. Henry Clay working it around. Elizabeth Nelson pulls up for three. Bang. Douglas goes up 36-23 for the Broncos, though. Sophomore Nia Rose behind the arc, nothing but net there. She had 27 points tonight. Broncos 2-0 in district play with an 81-49 win.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services. Attention veterans and civilians. Have you or a loved one spent time at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987? If so, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Drinking water contamination at Camp Lejeune has been linked to serious diseases, including cancers, kidney injuries, neurological disorders, or other serious injury. If you or a loved one was at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, call the number on your screen or visit campeljustice.com immediately for a free consultation.
I bet you worry who's going to do your service. Will then try and sell you something you don't really need? We don't do that. I don't do that. Because we don't want a customer once, we want a partnership for life. Next time you're in need, give us a call here at Hub Mechanical.
'Tis the season for giving, and there's no better way to give back than donating blood with Kentucky Blood Center. Stuck in a national blood shortage, giving 1 hour of your time has never been more important. Donors who give blood with KBC will receive a Happy Y'all-a-Days t-shirt.
Stream WKYT for free now.
Well, that's our show for this week. Join us next week for another show of the Scholastic Ball Report that highlights high school athletes. As always, special thanks to our Scholastic Ball Report team. Randy Rosenbaum, kymedia.net. Joel Clace, our director, WKYT, our executive producer, Bridget DeVries, and also the WKYT sports staff, Brian Malin, Lee K. Howard. And remember, for those you see and you don't see, you keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Clark's Pump and Shop, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, La Rosa's Pizza, Mingy Beef Jerky, Prep Spin, P-Rats, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.